Previously.
You didn't find yourself there. There's something that's taken place in your mind that you are either conscious about or you are unconscious about, but something eventually has happened and has caused you to react the way you reacted. Interpretation plus identification plus repetition is equal to strong emotion. So how do we interpret? My name is Lillian Titus. Welcome to my channel. If you're joining us for the very first time, I really welcome you to this humble abode. And this is a safe place for people with big dreams, people who want to take self-development and self-inventory to know themselves better. And if you're joining us again and again, thank you so much. I really appreciate you for your contribution as we're going to reach more people, for them to be also edified through this knowledge. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Yes, so let's go to the video. Interpretation. What do we mean by saying interpretation? Interpretation is when you interpret an event or situation based on your own story. For a negative emotion to arise in your mind, there is a part you have played. There is an interpretation that you have made that has contributed to that negative emotion to arise. Negative emotion doesn't just arise by themselves. There must be a place you have played, and that place is your interpretation. Why am I saying that? It's because a same scenario can appear to two different people, and two different people can have different reaction. And why does it mean by different reaction? Because they differ in how they give a meaning towards the event or a reaction that has taken place. For example, a rain to the farmer can be a blessing, but a rain to somebody who is going to a picnic can sound like a disaster. One person can react as a disaster, another person can be unaffected because it didn't give a different meaning or a negative meaning to that reaction. For the emotions, for it itself to grow and to become persistent in you, for it to become an emotion, it needs your interpretation. Your interpretation gives power to what kind of emotion or what kind of thought can be generated. You can never generate that I'm not good enough if you interpreted something in a positive way. If you interpret it in a positive way, you'll find it another thought can rise in your mind. Maybe I need to work better. But if you keep on picking negative reaction, it's because your interpretation might be negative. So why do you keep on choosing negative emotion? Why do you keep picking negative emotions? We're talking about interpretation. Why you keep interpretation is because of one simple conclusion that I think it is. Because reality doesn't reach your expectation. You wanted to you want to get promotion, you work so hard, but they pick another person. You want to go for a picnic, you hope the weather will be on your favor, but it rained. You want to do a side hustle and to provide enough income for yourself, but eventually the business didn't work out. And because it didn't work out, you interpret something different. So keep this in mind. Negative emotion cannot rise if there is you are part of your interpretation which can support that. Because your interpretation of things create the suffering or the blessing of your life. Ingredient number 2, identification. We've talked about interpretation, now we're talking about identification. In this formula, after you have been able to interpolate an event or situation or based on your story, you need to be able to pick a formula. For you to have a strong emotion, you need to be able to identify a certain thought. Because there's no thought that can exist without attention. Every thought that has been given attention is a thought that will become stronger and stronger. Any thought that has lacked attention is a thought that will fade away. So any thought that you're experiencing most of the time depression, anxiety, frustration, is because that thought is the one you keep on picking. You've given it attention and you keep on picking and picking and picking. And most people, they want to be recognized based on your emotions. They want to be identified. When you ask people, how do you feel? I'm sad, I'm depressed, I am not happy. And that is very incorrect statement. And I want you to change it in your life. It's very incorrect because you're not your emotion. Emotions comes and emotions also goes. Emotions are like clouds in the sky. They will come, they will gather, but then sometimes they will disappear. So know that you're not your emotion. You cannot identify yourself like, I have anger issues, I battle anxiety, I am sad. You are not sad. Emotions have never made anybody sad. Emotions have never made anybody happy, because emotions are not you. You are giving meaning to emotions. Emotion doesn't give you what to do. I want to understand that you have power to control your mind. That's what the Bible said. Think of things that are lovely, things of good report, things that are pure, things that are virtue. Upon these things, think of these. Philippians, you say that. Because God knows that you have ability to shape your mind the way you want it. I want you to believe it. That your mind doesn't have a socket in your mind that controls your movement. You control what happens to your life. You control what comes in your, how you act. You control it. It doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. You see? So I want to give you another example. Emotions are like clothes that you wear. They're like clothes that you wear. And you change clothes every day and now and then. But the clothes that you wear most often, or you continue wear, is the clothes that you love. And clothes is like emotion. The more you like a certain emotion, is the emotion that you will embrace. You continue wear it. We're talking about negative emotion. What kind of outfit, what kind of clothes that you're wearing in your life, that you love it, you embodying it. You may say, even no, I'm going to therapy, I don't like the emotion that I'm experiencing. But when we love something, we protect it. We want to be around it. We want to defend it. We want to be with it. Why are you still wearing a dirty clothes? We expect when you wear a clothes, even if you love it, you wash it and you wear it another time. But why are you keeping wearing it? You don't want to remove. You don't want to go and take shower. But you want to keep on wearing the same outfit each now and then. Why you keep on picking that clothes? You go take shower, you come back, you pick the same dress. You keep on picking the same emotion, and you say that you hate it. You hate it, but in your mind, you love it. You love it. Because the natural response of a human mind, when you hate something, you want to be away from it. You don't want to coexist with it. But if you fail to disengage with something, it's because there's a bond already that's being connected between you two. I want you to try this. Whenever you're angry, try to focus on another activity that is not correlating or corresponding to what you're doing. Try to connect to something else. Focus, put your mind on that thing. You wonder how that thing has been disconnected. It will disconnect from you. You will not feel hunger anyway, because any emotions that is not any emotion or a thought that is not being given attention, it fade away. The third ingredient, repetition. So we have already realized what you interpret determines what you're feeling. What you identify determines what controls your mind, So what you repeat, when you repeat that cycle of identification with the same feeling, identify, you continue interpreting, it's condition your mind on what you think. That's when if somebody will tell you, I have anger issues. When you do this, is a trigger to me. Not because you have a trigger. God didn't create like that. You're repeating the cycle of identifying. You're repeating the cycle of over and over again. You keep on interpreting and identify the same thought, and that emotion is continuing to become stronger and stronger until now it has become you. It has become part of your identity in a way that you don't know how to differentiate yourself. When somebody does this, you're being triggered. Don't do this to me, When you do this, I feel low of myself. When you do this, it's trigger anger. It's trigger my abundance issues when I'm past. Don't do this. You're not that weak. I love what David Goggins said in Navy SEAL. He was fat. He was weak. But when he went to Navy SEAL Army, that's when he said that I experienced hell. He went there and he walked. Those people, they give him walk to death. He felt like he's losing life. But that's when he realized that his mind is so powerful to become anything you want. Your brain is a muscle. They tend to expand. Your brain is not a legit something that is like this. When you expand, it ruptures. No. It's like, it's a muscle. It's a continue expanding. So don't give yourself labels to things that you're not. God has never created you sad. And sadness, when somebody asks you, how do you feel then? What are you supposed to say? You're supposed to say, I'm experiencing the feeling of sadness. I'm experiencing a feeling of sadness. Not I am sad. Because you're not your emotion. And most people have been tormented because they've not allowed themselves to release, to let go of some emotions. They keep on wearing the same outfit over and over and over again. So to sum up, is what I've explained in the formula. For the emotion to arise and to stay in a long duration, first you need to pick the emotion as it is rising. You need to identify with the thought of that emotion. You must be able to identify with that thought. And after you identify with that thought, you keep on repeating the same thoughts over and over again. And that's how the thought becomes stronger. This can be positive to you if you want to maintain a certain positivity emotion to stay. It's the same formula you can use to continue to keep it. But it's the same formula that has kept people in bondage. And maybe you are the one that are watching now. But this is the time. You can change. You can change. Yes. Indeed. Ciao.